Welcome back to another exciting video. And what we're going to do today is we're actually going to hit a note. We're actually going to start learning Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven for beginner piano players. So I did a video a couple weeks ago. Now I'm going to be moving through this pretty quick because this is going to get very long if I don't. I'm going to break this up over multiple videos because there is a tremendous amount to learn here if you're a new student. And I do mean a tremendous. I spend 3 to 5 months with my new students on this one song. Because not only do you have to learn how to play it, learn all the notes and everything that comes along with it, you also need to learn how to play it correctly. What do I mean by that? Well, there are certain places, because the time on this shifts from 52 to 60 beats a minute. So the time's going to sway. There's little parts where it's going to slow down, little parts where it's going to speed up, and it's going to accentuate those specific parts. And then also we're going to have a little bit of dynamics going on here. So to where some things, using my headphones, to where some things will be very soft, and then we'll pick up the volume just a little bit, which is going to add a lot of feeling and a lot of emotion to this song, and you'll hear it as we go along. Now, like I said, everything is going to be arpeggiated in this song. The right hand never stops arpeggiating through the entire song. Most of it, I'm going to say probably 80%, we're going to be arpeggiating up. And then there's going to be a couple places where we'll be doing some arpeggiating down, or we're going to be going up and down and so on. This song is relatively easy for the most part for the entirety of the song. The only really part that's going to get a little sticky and a little tricky is in the middle section where we've got the big walks up the keyboard and then the really big walk back down the keyboard. Because we're going to have 4 different sections where we're going to walk up, change a note, walk up, change a note, walk up a little further, change a note, walk up a little further. Then we're going to walk it all the way back down across 4 octaves, I believe, maybe 5 octaves. And that's really the trickiest part of the song. For the most part, the song plays exactly the same. So let's jump in and get started. And like I said, I'm going to be moving very, very fast on this. Now, over on my Patreon page, I've got my Patreon page set up. You can join my Patreon page for $1 a month. I am in the process of uploading all my videos, however 150, 200 videos, I don't know, onto my Patreon where you can go over and watch all my videos ad-free. This video will be up on my Patreon page, and with it will also be the actual sheet music itself. I will be putting the sheet music up on my Patreon page for you to download also, but I'm only going to be putting up the sections that we're going to be working on, not too complicated. Now, you will be able to see a lot of what's going on right here on the piano roll also, and you'll be able to follow along by that. All right, so here we go. Let's get started on this. The very first chord we are using is going to be, as you can see, C sharp minor. This is C sharp minor in the 2nd position. First position, all right? Root position, I'm sorry. Root position, first position, 2nd position. And we're doing this in 2nd position. Now this is going to be arpeggiated. And on our left hand, we have our C sharp octave. All right? Now right here is middle C. Very important for you to understand that this, you can see on the piano roll here, is middle C. Because a lot of this music we're going to play, the treble clef is literally going to turn into a bass clef, and a lot of it's going to be played down here on the bottom below middle C. So it's very important you understand that is middle C. All right, so our first chord is going to be a 2nd position, a C sharp minor. Now we're going to arpeggiate this, and like I said, this song is played in triplets, groups of 4 per measure. What do I mean by that? Well, listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one changes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, so what did I just do there? All right, Every time I was saying 1, the chord is changing. But if you notice, it's all triplets, and there's 4 sets of triplets per measure, okay? So our first chord, C sharp minor, we are going to arpeggiate this just like this. And that begins our song, okay? Now what you want to do, like I said, between 52 beats to 60, one thing you want to watch is do not rush this piece. It will ruin the piece. And every student I have, about halfway through, it starts speeding up substantially. And I'm constantly, watch your tempo, slow it down, because that ruins the song. The other thing, this song must be played soft. You cannot do this, because it sounds like crap if you do. You must do this. All right, so back to the beginning. That gives you an idea of what you have to do. Our C sharp, second position. We're going to play that 4 times. And we have our G sharp, our C sharp, and our E on the left hand, C sharp octaves. Now when you press the pedal, your sustain pedal, keep it pressed the entire time. We only lift the pedal when we're changing chords. And like I said, when you're, well, I may have said, yeah, like I said, you have to lift the pedal when the next chord starts, not between the chords. If you lift between the chords, it sounds like this. Let me play, I'm gonna play it in the full 4. And that is a huge no-no. No, 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 no. That will not do. You play when the next chord is being pressed, so it sounds like this. And there's no break between the chords. That is imperative. That's imperative in all music. Unless you're playing something staccato, that is imperative in all music. All right, so C sharp minor, 4 times. Now, the right hand chord remains the same. Our left hand is going to go to B. And we play that 4 times. So for the first 2 measures, we have this. All right, so that one stays C sharp minor, second position. We go from C sharp to B. Pretty simple, all right? A lot of this is not going to be very hard. A lot of this you should be able to move through relatively fast, even if you're a beginner. All right, our next chord is an A major, all right? Root position, root, 3rd, 5th. This is our root position, A major, and this is going to be played 2. All right, and then we're going to go to a D, second position, and our left hand is going to go to G, F sharp. And this is going to be played in groups of 2. So between the A and the D, it sounds like this. All right, so the first one's played 4 times. The second one is played 4 times. The third chord is played 2 times. The fourth chord is played 2 times. All right, so that's pretty simple to that part. And this is why I said it's critical for you to watch that first video, because if you notice, a lot of these are in positions. They are not in roots. So far, we've only played 1 root chord, and that is A. Everything else has been in a first or second position. So it's very important to watch that first one and kind of get an idea of how these work. Now you can see on the piano roll, everything on my screen here, what my chords are. Let me explain this to you real quick. When I go to the next chord, see this is a C sharp minor. See this says E major 6/B. Well, it could be that, but if you look at the little one over here, it's actually C sharp minor with a B octave. And believe it or not, these are actually the same chords. It just depends on how you want to write it down, to be honest with you. And that's really what it is. And that's where music can get very confusing. Then our next one's going to be an A. Then you can see here we have a D with an F sharp bass line. All right. So, and you can see the piano, the notes that I'm hitting, and you can see the bass clef, and you can see the treble clef to see what the chords are. So you can see the actual music. All right, now we're coming up. This is going to be the first little obstacle you're going to face, all right? There's basically 4 chords we're going to be playing in this next one. And each chord is going to get 1 count. So to where the other ones are 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to the B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. This one's going to get 1, 1, 1, 1. So it's going to be 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, and it's all going to be over a G sharp on the left hand. So what do we got here? So we got our first chord, which is right here. This is a G7. This is a G7 without the 5th. We have a root, a 3rd, and a 7. Now I could add in our 5th, and it's still a G7 by adding in this D sharp, but we don't need it for this intent and purpose. And honestly, a lot of times when I'm playing a 7 chord, I do not play the 5th, because the 5th is a perfect 5th of a root. It doesn't change the color of the chord whatsoever. So what do I mean by that? If I'm playing this G, now if I was to play this in a minor and I lower the 3rd, you hear the color of the chord shift, okay? Now if I take out the 5th, now you're missing the top note, right? And you can hear that. But if I add the 7, you really don't need the 5th now, because it doesn't change the color of the chord. The 7 will add color, the 7th note to it, obviously. And then the 3rd is actually what gives the chord the color, the major, the minor, and that's where you'll move to a suspended 2nd or suspended 4. It'll be that middle note that bounces around, and that's what gives your chord color. So a lot of times you can play chords without the 5 in it. And if you're, as long as you got a root and a 3rd, then you know if you're major or minor. And you can add a 7, 9, 11, 13, whatever you want on top of it. All right, so our first chord here, now remember, this is going to all be played over a G sharp. Our first chord, as you can see, is a G7. You can see the notes right here on the bottom of the piano roll, okay? Our next chord is back to where we started, the C sharp minor in the 2nd position. All right, our 3rd chord is going to be a G sharp suspended 4. I'm not going to explain to you what a suspended 4 is. That's a different lesson, and I've got a lot of videos up on it about chords and chord structure. But basically, we're suspending the 4th note. We're adding in a 4th, a perfect 4th into it. And that gives us the G sharp. We're removing the 3rd, adding in a 4th. And then our last one, which is a C diminished, okay? C diminished, which is, that's our root, 2nd position. All right, now all this is played over a G sharp, and each one of these get a count of 1. So it sounds like this. Okay? And this one on the left hand is the first time we'll bring in 1, 2, 1, 2. Each one of these will get 2 counts instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now this is how I teach my new students to remember this, because this is actually their first challenge, because we have all these little notes moving around in here. If you play the chord, we have our 3 notes. All right, these would be, when I say top 2, it's the middle note and the top note. When I say bottom 2, it's the middle note and the bottom note. So how I explain this to them without telling them, they've got to remember what the notes are, but this kind of helps them remember what the notes are. After the first chord, on chord number 2, the top 2 notes move. All right, first chord, top 2 notes move on the second chord. Third chord, only the top moves. Fourth chord, the bottom 2 move. All right, and that'll kind of give you, that keep you on track of which notes are actually moving in the chords. All right, and then you got to remember, you have a count of 1, 2, 1, 2 on the left hand. So I'm going to play the piece all the way through that. And you can hear when I was playing that how the time's going to shift a little bit, but also my dynamics are going to shift a little bit. And it adds a lot of emotion to the song, all right? So that gets us through this part. We have our C sharp minor, played 4 times, 4 arpeggios, 1, 2, 3, 4. We change our left hand to the B, play it 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have our A major, we play twice, 1, 2. Our D major, we play twice, 1, 2. Then we have this section here where each chord is played 1 time. Okay, now I hit the G each time just so you could keep track how each one is played 1 time, but it sounds like this. And you notice that time I played the G twice. First 2 chords, then we hit the G again for the second 2 chords. So the G's played twice, and there's 4 separate chords in that one section. All right? Now that is as far as we're going to carry this today. All right? So we've gotten to that part. What comes up after that part? You know what? Let's move on. Let's go ahead and at least get to the melody part before I quit. I was going to stop there, but let's take it a little further. Let's get on to the melody part. All right, so we come through this section here. Now right here, if you look at our chord here, we are in a C sharp minor, and we got our, now right here is the first time we're bringing in a 5th on the left hand. We have a root, a 5th, and an octave. And it is imperative that you hit that 5th, because that's what's going to thicken that up. Listen to the difference. On that bass, it makes it much fatter and fuller, the sound. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to stay in a C sharp minor, but we're going to walk the C sharp minor up. What do I mean by that? Watch. Now, I'm not going to hit the sustain pedal, so you'll see all the notes gather. And if you notice, all those notes are in a C sharp minor. All we did was change position. We walked up the position. To give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, if I do this in C major starting at a root, everything is a C major. And if you notice, if you look at the piano roll, they're all the same notes. I'm just walking those notes up. I'm going up 3, coming back 1, back up 2, back 1, back up 2. Same thing we're doing here. And if you notice, these are all the notes, and the notes repeat, okay? Now right here is where our melody comes in, and this is mucho critical-o that you play this correctly. So we're going to have our first walk up in our C sharp major. Then all we're going to do is move this note up to the top now. So since we're not changing chords, all right, it's the same chord, it's just a different position. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where melody comes in, right there. All right, so listen how this is played. And then that's where our chord changes. And this is where we're going to stop it right here. All right, so coming off of the C sharp, one more time, listen to it. Most students, this is where they mess up, is on this melody. This is, I'm talking 98% of my students, this is where they really struggle with the song, is playing the melody correctly. And even though the melody is not very, that's all it is, you'd be shocked at how much problem that may give you on the front end. Because a lot of students will do this, they'll do that, they'll shorten it, and they'll rush that note. You cannot rush that note. Yep, it'd help if I played the right chord. Okay, I'm gonna play it again, up to tempo. And if you notice, I've got another fifth here, okay? I got another fifth. It is critical that you play that fifth in this part of the song. So if you, like I said, it's critical you play that part. So we're gonna play this one more time, go through the first part of the melody, starting at the C sharp minor, walk up. All right, and that's as far as we're going to go, to the first part of the melody. So after we go to the C sharp, and we play the melody. Now if you look right here, our next chord, we're playing a G7 again with no third this time. Last time we were playing it with no fifth, this time we're playing it with no third. And we have our melody right here on the G sharp, all right? One more time, back at the walk up of the C sharp minor. Back to the C sharp. And that one's only played twice, so that is where we're going to stop it right there. All right, now one more time before we get off here, I'm going to stress the melody line, okay? That is everything in this song, the melody line. And like I said, a lot of my students will rush that second hit. They'll do this. And for whatever reason, that double hit with that pinky is what gets them. So here's what you do to fix this. Starting at the walk up, right here. Notice both of them are down, and you hold them down while you're playing this. The melody always rings out. So you're going to go double, play your arpeggio, one, double, again. And if you have to, and I actually have my students do that. Because that is one part they really struggle, because they'll dub, for whatever reason, they'll just triple time that melody section right there. So the best thing to do, and this I always stress, and if you're struggling with a part, play it very, very slow to work out the mechanics. All right? And if you got to do it with one hand, that's fine. And like I said, one thing you must do is that melody note rings the entire time. When you're playing your arpeggios, I'm going to do this without pedal real quick before I end it, so you see what I'm talking about. This note does not lift until we play the melody part again. I'm going to do this with no pedal. It's going to be staccato. It's going to sound like crap. You notice that note does not turn off until I play the melody again. That must ring out, and you play your arpeggio underneath it. That note stays pressed the entire time. That is mucho critico on this song. You must do that to make it right. All right, so now let's recap everything we just did, all right? I'm just going to go through the chords for you. Here is our first position. Take note down here on the piano roll. And this way you can pause it and see the notes if you need to. This is played 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arpeggiated. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yes, that is way above tempo. We move with a B. And then we arpeggiate the C sharp minor again 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see the chords. Then we go to our A. And we're going to arpeggiate this one 2 times. 1, 2. Then we're going to go to our D. And we're going to arpeggiate this 2 times. 1, 2. Now, right here is our first change. We're going to play our G sharp for a count of 2. Then we're going to play it again for a count of 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. And yes, this is very loud. This is demonstration purposes only, not the actual playing. All right, and then here's where we're going to have our first set of movement. We have 4 separate chords. Each chord gets 1 count, which means it gets arpeggiated 1 time. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to play the chords. So if you want to pause it on the video so you can get the chords down. Chord number 2. Chord number 3. Chord number 4. And then we move on from there. After we play this part, and I'm going to play it fast just to save us time. We go back to our C sharp. This is the beginning of it. Then we're going to walk the C sharp up, C sharp minor, to here. We're going to play that. This becomes a group of 4 with melody. Chord number 1 is a walk up to the same chord. It's played 2 times there, 2 and 3. Starting our 4th arpeggio, we start our melody. 2, 3, 4. All right. So here is our next chord. And I'm going to hold it here in case you want to stop the video to look at it. So one more time, we're going to walk it up. I'm sorry, I hit a wrong note there. One more time, walking it up. Four times. Back to our C sharp, and that's where we're stopping, is our C sharp minor. All right? So that's all the chords to that part. Everything's arpeggiated. And like I said, stop the video if you want to see the chords, where they're at, and you can see the chords on the treble clef also. and the bass clef. And then over on my Patreon page, I will actually have the actual sheet music up there for you to download. Like I said, you can go to my Patreon page if you want to join. If not, totally fine. You can go to my Patreon page for $1 a month, and you can watch all these videos ad-free, and you can get other things that I add that I put up with the videos.